Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
Welcome into First Pitch for Tuesday, September 13th. I am Drew Martin, joined by Dave Koken and Brian Leonard of WagerTalk.com. We're breaking down 3 games on tonight's slate. We got best bets at the end. We're talking the Phillies and the Marlins, Yankees, Red Sox, and Padres, Mariners to end it here, guys. Of course, followed by best bets. Come join us in the chat box on the Wager Talk YouTube channel as we start here in South Florida. Dave, coming to you first. We get the Phillies and the Marlins. Falter versus Alcantara, minus 120. That's the Marlins as the home favorite. You know, you don't see the Marlins laying a price tag here to a playoff team very often here, Dave. What are you thinking in South Florida tonight?
Well, obviously they're the favorite because Alcantara's pitching. And, you know, I understand that. He's got a chance to win the Cy Young. I think he's still the favorite for the Cy Young. I haven't checked the numbers, although Zach Gallen has to be closing in. But obviously a big start for Alcantara as far as that goes. Here's the problem, though. The Marlins are just abysmal against lefties offensively. They're not good against righties either, but they are terrible against lefties. Alcantara has not pitched as well down the stretch as he had for most of the season. Could be that the innings and the pitches thrown are starting to slow him down a little bit. And Philly's throwing a lefty and Falter. And obviously the game's more important to the Phillies. The price is being made on the starting pitcher. To me, if you're a value shopper, you got to take the plus money with the Phillies in this one.
I agree, Dave. And I just pulled up the Cy Young right now. Seeing Sandy Alcantara minus 175, Zach Gallen plus 600. So I agree with you. I mean, Zach Gallen's reeling them in, but maybe that plus 600 for futures bettors.
He was like 50-1 3 weeks ago. Wow. And now he's down to 6-1. And his scoreless inning streak finally ended, but he had another good game and picked up another win against Colorado. You know, he puts together 2 more real good starts. And Alcantara's somewhat fade continues. He could catch him in. There's a couple other guys in the mix as well. So this race isn't over yet.
No, absolutely not. I mean, Max Fried also at plus 600, Julio Urias and Tony Gonsolin all kind of in the mix. But one thing, you know, you factor in is Sandy Alcantara's not going to be in a playoff hunt here. So right. The games that he's pitching, if he's pitching well, people aren't going to be watching it as much. That's why I wouldn't lay minus 175, Dave.
No, I wouldn't either. I mean, I think he's still the favorite, but it's dicey right now, and he can get caught. Of course, the obvious thing is that the guy who is clearly the best pitcher in baseball won't win it because of the innings, and he's minus like 9 million tonight, and that's Jacob deGrom of the Mets, who is not even human at this point.
Oh, yeah, what he's been able to do is absolutely crazy there for the Metropolitans. Good stuff. And Brian, coming to you next, you know, one stat that kind of jumped out at me, Rob Thompson took over for the Philadelphia Phillies, and Dave remembers that. He called it when they changed the manager and they went on that huge run. Dave stacked up some units, not only for himself, for the watchers of this show on First Pitch, but what I wanted to bring up here, Brian, is he took over the job on June 3rd. The Phillies have 56 wins since June 3rd. The Marlins have 58 wins all season long. So just kind of a stat that jumped out at me, man. The Phillies just a lot better team here than the Fish going back multiple months. What are you thinking tonight in the Fish tank, Brian?
Yeah, I'm in agreement here. I think Philadelphia is the side. If this game would have been played, 5 weeks ago, this line would be much different. In fact, there's been solid money coming in on Philadelphia all day long. Alcantara, as was mentioned, he just hasn't pitched as well as of late. You go over his last 3 of his last 4 games, he's allowed 17 earned runs. The funny part is the only time he had a good game during that outing or streak was against the Dodgers. I think he only gave up 1 earned run against the Dodgers in a complete game. So he has not pitched as well lately, and a lot of that has to do with the pitches, has to do with he's on a team that's far out of the playoffs. And that's the problem with Zach Gallen. You talked about Zach Gallen possibly winning it, and he deserves it. He's been terrific, but he's also on a team that's not going to be in the playoffs. And unfortunately, a lot of people look at that, and they look at that for the MVP too. So you don't know how they're going to bet it. So I wouldn't want to put my money on either one of those, to be totally honest with you. But Dave touched on this to open, how Miami is against lefties. They're dead last in Major League Baseball in the season with a WRC plus of 68. That means they're 32% worse than the league average team. And to show you how bad they are, Cleveland is the next worst, and Cleveland's still 13% better against lefties than Miami is. So you're getting Brady Falter, a guy that doesn't get a lot of respect in the betting marketplace. You're getting it here is a plus price here as a lefty against a Miami team who, they've scored a little bit lately, but we all know about that streak they had where they couldn't score more than 3 runs in a game. I think they have a struggling offense again here tonight. I like Philadelphia in this matchup.
All right, looking towards the Phils tonight to start us off. We got another good one here. Heading up to Fenway Park, Brian, we get Garrett Cole and the Yankees going up against Nick Pivetta starting here for the Sox. 8.5 being the total, minus 150. That's the Yanks as the road favorite. Of course, they've been playing bad baseball going back a couple months, but actually winning 6 of their last 8 here, Brian. So maybe find it in a little bit. That's the Yankees. Are you liking anything in Fenway tonight?
Yeah, normally when these two get together, I look for excuses to play the underdog, but I can't get there with Pivetta. You take a look at what he's done against the Yankees so far this year. He's had 3 starts. He went 5.2 innings, gave up 4 earned runs, 3.1 innings, gave up 6 earned runs, and 4 innings, giving up 7 earned runs. Needless to say, the Yankees have had his number, and obviously you would see some regression in there, so it wouldn't be as bad now, but we haven't seen that regression all season long when he's played the Yankees. And Cole hasn't had a lot of success against Boston this year, 17 innings, giving up 10 earned runs. So we could see a high-scoring output here. 8.5 at this ballpark is a little cheap. Lean with the over here a little bit. Also lean with the Yankees is I don't want any part of Nick Pivetta in this contest, and we'll see how it works out. But normally I like to play the underdogs. You just can't get that way with Boston on this one. So leans with the Yankees and the over for me. Okay,
I found a stat, Brian, pointing towards the underdog. Garrett Cole is actually only 2-3 since becoming a Yankee in Fenway. 7.13 ERA in those 5 starts. So for whatever reason, he's kind of struggled here. Maybe that pointing towards the Red Sox. But Dave, are you liking anything Yanks and Red Sox tonight?
Not enough to bet it, but I don't want Pivetta. The Yankees are starting to play better baseball again. And I've watched Garrett Cole's last 2 starts, and he's really throwing the ball well. I mean, he's zeroed in right now. So it adds up to a likely Yankees win. But, the price is wrong. If the price is right, you play it. If the price is wrong in terms of getting value, then you don't. And I think what I'm saying is I think the odds makers priced it right, which means betting it is wrong. To me, I know I say this all the time. You just have to throw games out when the price is right. I think it is here, so I'll give you a lean on the Yankees, but not for money.
Like it, Dave. We got 1 game left, guys, heading out west to the Pacific Northwest. That is in the nightcap for the show. One of the nightcaps for tonight's MLB slate. Dave, coming to you first. We get the Padres and the Mariners. Yu Darvish, Logan Gilbert. Good pitching matchup here. Near a pick'em price. I guess we could call it, Mariners minus 110 is the short home favorite. Low total here of 7.5. Dave, wanted to point out one thing here. Seattle, this is their final series versus a team with a winning record. So if you're looking to kind of bet them in the futures, now might be a good time because they're scheduled the rest of the way very, very easy. Are you liking anything in the Pacific Northwest here tonight, Dave?
Well, it's an interesting market move here because the Mariners opened as bigger favorites, and it's been bet down. So the bettors have been pounding the Padres. Not sure I buy into that. Nothing wrong with Yu Darvish. He's fine, but he's better at home than on the road. Gilbert, he looked like and I, in fact, said this, and I got it wrong. I said, boy, it looks like he's hitting the wall. His innings are piling up, and he seemed to have been losing his effectiveness. His last 2 starts have been sensational. I don't want to go against him. And I think the price now has dropped to the point where you do consider the Mariners here. I wouldn't have considered them at 130 or 135, 140, that range. No, that's too high. But at basically a pick 'em, I'd give the lead to Seattle. And I also trust their bullpen more than the Padres' bullpen if this is close late. So I'll give you a lean on Seattle here. I only bet one game, which I'll tell you about when we get to best bets. But this is probably my second favorite game in the card now on the Mariners.
Sure, that Mariners bullpen, very good. Brian, coming to you next. You Darvish found a stat on him. His OPS against when facing the M's is just 500. Of course, on base plus slugging percentage, and it's over 100 plate appearances. So maybe just past performance against this lineup, he's really dominated them. Maybe that might be something the market's finding. What do you like?
Not this lineup. Not this lineup.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the key. That's against the Mariners in the past who had no offense. This linup's a little bit different.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Brian,
the problem you have. Anytime you're taking a look at history, you got to realize who the players were on the team. And Seattle's brought in some nicer hitters this year. Went in free agent, and everything seems to be working out for them. Yeah, I'm in agreement with Dave once again here. Logan Gilbert only allows 6.3% walks, which is pretty good. And you've got this San Diego team who is very patient. And that has been somewhat of a drawback. If you read the San Diego papers, they think that maybe these players are being less aggressive. But you've got guys on this team who take a lot of walks. We're looking at walk percentages. Machado 9.7, Soto amazing 20.7, Josh Bell 12.1, Grisham 11.7, Cronenworth 10.3, Profar 12. These are guys who take a lot of pitches and try to wear out that pitcher. The problem is you've got a starter going for Seattle who doesn't walk a lot of batters. And as Dave talked about, the bullpen for Seattle, the last couple of years, you'd be hard-pressed to find a bullpen any better than this Mariners team has been. Have they been a little bit lucky in that regard? Yeah, but they played enough games now that you're starting to believe in them. They've got 4 or 5 guys in this bullpen who could literally be a closer at any other team, many of these other teams in Major League Baseball, but they've got them all, and that's really worked well. So if you can get 5 innings out of a starter, it's tough to score on Seattle in the second half of that ball game. As much as I like Hugh Darvish, I don't think the value is there on him. And as Dave pointed out, this line's much more impressive to me now than it was earlier when all that money was coming in on San Diego. Now I think it's gone past the buy point, and I think Seattle's the way to go on this one.
Like it, guys. Good breakdowns on the 3 games. We got best bets coming up. Guys, check out Dave Koken, WagerTalk.com. #1 all time in golf, college football. He knows his baseball, obviously. You've been listening to him here. He's got 2 $9 plays, and they're still up for $9. $9 Monday. He's rolling it over into Tuesday. So check him out, Dave Koken. He's got those 2 in college football. Great deal there. WagerTalk.com, experts page, Dave Koken. Dave, what else you got going on at WagerTalk that the viewers need to know about, and where are you going for best bets?
Not much. I have an additional 3% play. That's all access. I might make that the free play. I haven't decided yet. I'll have a free college and a free NFL play coming up in the next day or two. I didn't play any baseball tonight, but I'll give you the game I came closest to playing as the best bet. And I might add it. If I do, it's going to be a very small play. But I do think the Cardinals are worth looking at here. The Brewers, they just don't. We talked about the Marlins' deficiencies against lefties. Nobody's worse than them. The Brewers are in that range, though, with the other teams that they don't hit lefties. I think their WRC plus for the season against lefties is 81 on the road. The Cardinals' WRC plus at home against anybody is 120. They crushed them all at home. Jordan Montgomery, since he joined the Cardinals, has given up 7 runs total. 5 of those came in one game. His other 6 starts, he's given up a grand total of 2 runs. It's been great. So you figure he's going to limit the Brewers. Matt Bush will open for Milwaukee here, and he's done well in 5 starts this year, 5 opens. Those were all in Texas earlier in the year. I think he gave up 1 run, and that's it. So good chance he shuts the Cardinals down for an inning. But then after that, it's bullpen the rest of the way for Milwaukee. I think that's an edge for the Cardinals. I think anything less than $2 here is very playable. And I'm going to go first 5 because I want Montgomery. After that, who knows? But I want Montgomery. He figures to go 5 or 6 strong. I'll take the Cardinals first 5, even at a good-sized price.
All right, going with the Redbirds in the first 5. Huge shout out to the chat box here. We got Jessica. What is up? Welcome in. Raven Ron in the house. Leg Show Magazine looking towards the Orioles. Daniel in the house as well. Raven Ron. Sweet James Jones, Johnny Outlaw. Thanks all for joining us live. Please smash that like button and feel free to reply below if you're watching on replay. Brian, know you got a lot going on at Wager Talk, man. Good at college football, good at baseball as well for the last 5 MLB seasons in the positive. What else you got going at WagerTalk.com, and where are you going for best bets, man?
Yeah, right now we've got 4 plays in the NFL. I'm going to throw some teasers up there too, as they're starting to come out now. So we've got that for all service clients. I also have a baseball play up that I gave for our clients, and I also put it up as a free play. So if you're looking for another baseball free play, you can go to the website and get that right now. I'll go back to the first game we spoke about, the Philadelphia Phillies against Miami here. Talked about Miami against lefties. They've been terrible against lefties. Alcantara is a situation where he just is not pitching as well as he did earlier in the season. He's starting to wear out a little bit, and we've got a Philadelphia team who's fighting for the playoffs right now. They've got Harper back healthy, and this is a team that got some bats, and I don't think Miami has enough of those. I like what Falter's been doing. He only walks 5% of his opponents, which is very good. And he's going against a Miami team who really doesn't take a lot of walks. They only got Anderson and Birdie, who only take 10% walk rate. Everybody else is less than that. So Miami doesn't see a lot of pitches. I think it'll be a quick game for Philadelphia here from the defensive side. And I think they can get to Alcantara here. So give me Philadelphia here at a nice plus price. Not getting as good a price as we did earlier in the day. I still think there's value there.
Guys, for my best bet, I'm lining up with Brian Leonard, which is a good thing. One of the better minds in the baseball betting markets. I'm on the Philadelphia Phillies plus 111. Can get them as high as plus 114 if you shop around using the Wager Talk Live odds screen. Look, Falter's 4-0, 2.66 ERA since being called up from the minors. That's the Philadelphia lefty. He's starting tonight. Alcantara's just 1-2 his last 4 starts with over a 6 ERA. So even though he's a great pitcher, right now, recency, not so much. Miami just 3-12 their last 15 games, and they're having to lay a price here. Brian touched on it. I mean, Philadelphia, the much better lineup. And guys, throw out this stat again. Since Rob Thompson took over the managerial duties for Philadelphia, they have 56 wins. That was on June 3rd. The Miami Marlins for the full season only have 58 wins. We get a lot better team here, plus price. Hey, this is coming from a Marlins fan, guys. I'm going against them tonight on the Phillies plus 111. In recap here, Phillies plus 111 from both myself and Brian Leonard. See it there lining up. And Dave Koken on the Redbirds, first 5 minus 185. So,
I have a
guys,
question for you, Drew. When the Marlin fan club, the Marlin fan club that you're part of, for your annual get-together, is that held in a closet?
Well, there's a total of 750 of us Marlins fans, Dave,
really?
Across the world.
Many.
Yeah, that's about
the
what
world,
it is. Yeah, it's not many. It's actually funny, Dave. I'm glad you brought it up. Whenever I go to a game, like I went to a Mets game in Citi Field earlier when I took vacation, and it's funny, you see everybody in like jerseys and their Mets hats, and they're really into the game. Dave, when you go to a Marlins game, there's like no Marlins stuff. It's just like people walking around. Like there's not many people there, and nobody's really into the game, like supporting the team. So it's actually kind of sad, man. But hey,
yeah,
go ahead.
At least they got rid of that monstrosity in the outfield that the previous owner. I guess he's some big art art guy.
Yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah.
his taste is up his ass. Okay, that was the ugliest thing I've ever seen, and I only saw it on TV. Must have been worse in person. See, these
Yeah.
critics, these art critics and movie critics, they're the worst. Okay, I mean, they
Yeah.
love all this artsy fartsy stuff, which is mostly pretentious and it sucks. Okay, give me a good Clint Eastwood action movie. I'm fine with that. Okay, I don't care if the critics don't like it. Screw them.
Oh, Clint Eastwood's the man. I agree with that, Dave.
Yes.
Great way to end the show, for sure, man. Dave Koken, check him out, wagertalk.com. He's got those two $9 plays, guys. Check it out. College football, and Brian, all kinds of stuff there. He's throwing it out, a little teaser Tuesday here in the NFL. Check out his page, Brian Leonard, wagertalk.com. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Come back and join us. Please smash that like button. Feel free to reply below. Best of luck with your bets. We'll talk tomorrow.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers' best bet or daily package for only $2.